Well, Peyton, what program, you say that you're with the Senior Meals program?
Right. We do senior meals, which encompasses about 8 different meal sites in Peoria.
Okay, so we have various sites there too.
Right.
Okay.
But we're also involved with some other things that are going on with the Community Action Agency. We expect to be a part of the Promised Neighborhoods venture. We're going to help them with some gardening sites that they plan to incorporate in the intergenerational aspect of what we've been talking about, involving seniors as well as the young people. Gardening is a product of something that we all are familiar with in one way or another, but the hands-on aspect of it is what a lot of our young people are not familiar with. They think the can of green beans is the only way you can get it.
I'm ashamed to say that when I was growing up, I thought that corn grew in cans. I mean, I didn't, growing in a city, although it wasn't a major city, it was South Bend, Indiana, but I wasn't exposed really to gardens in the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's not unusual. One of the things I believe the Promised Neighborhoods has as a component of their total operation is that the kids and the generations are going to be a lot closer as part of the neighborhood concept. And the gardening aspect of it is something that should be major. I think kids getting an opportunity to grow things will allow them to have hands-on treatment and hands-on performance levels that'll really make a difference in their life.
Well, I agree with you, and again, it's not like a thing of just talking with kids, but they're actually practically doing something that kids can see, from breaking and digging up the ground to eventually something coming up out of the ground and that type of thing.
Right.
What were you going to say, Melinda?
I just wondered if he gets to explain why cows don't produce chocolate milk. That one always got me.
Oh, is it? Okay, well, that's great. On these meals that you give out through your senior meal, is it like a lunch, or is it a dinner, or is it a breakfast, or what meal is it that you provide?
Basically, we're providing a lunch meal, but some of our meal sites have individuals who utilize that particular meal as their major and sometimes only meal of the day.
Absolutely.
So if that meal arrives at 10:30, they'll eat it at 10:30.
I would think
there are other meal sites that prefer that they have it around lunch, 12, 11:30. But, you know, we don't try to enforce any particular hours on them. But basically it is a lunch, and it provides, you know, that 1/3 of the daily requirements.
Yes.
The fact that we have a number of our meal sites in the city of Peoria and that a number of our participants are low income speaks for the reason that they would probably use that meal as their major meal for the day. And so they'll eat it when it gets there because they're ready for it.
Well, I wasn't as concerned about what time they ate, but just wanted the public to know that, you know, this is basically a luncheon type of a meal. It's not breakfast or whatever, but they can use it. And as you say, in many cases, it's probably breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because it's probably the only meal that they get. And I assume, are these hot meals, or are these like just a cold sandwich that they're getting with a bag with
I'd say 90% of the time we're providing hot meals.
Okay.
There are occasions, especially during the summer, when the lunch may be more of a cold variety.
Right, yeah.
But, and Melinda's question, and we also do give them chocolate milk.
Oh, do you?
Right.
Okay.
The cows are not that way, but yeah, we do provide that.
About how many seniors participate in the program?
As individuals, well, basically we're providing 40,000 meals during the year.
Wow, that's quite a few.
As far as the individuals, that's usually, we've got about 299 individual people that we're providing meals for.
Okay. And I assume that this is coming out of that famous catering department that...
Central Illinois Catering, right?
Central
they do
Illinois
provide
Catering.
the meals and ship them out, make sure that they're hot when they get there, and that the temperature is right when it gets to the meal site.
Okay. And that's also the source of the food that goes to the Head Start and early Head Start too, isn't it?
That's right.
So they probably
put out quite a few meals a day.
Yeah, I know they're really high in terms of number, high in terms of nutritional value, and again, it's another in-house service that's providing jobs to the folks that do the cooking as well as the transportation, and meeting not only the needs of the agency directly in terms of the services, but for the people that are in the community in terms of particularly our seniors. And
right.
Again, I'm quite certain that even though they may not have been impacted necessarily in terms of the recession by losing jobs, because most of them are beyond the job market, but I'm certain that financially they're just as strained as ever, if not even more so today. And many of them, as they say, were having to kind of make a choice between either heating or eating. And we've talked about some of the programs that PCCEO even provides in terms of helping people in terms of energy assistance and weatherization and those kinds of things to kind of help them to reduce costs and stretch their dollars. And I'm quite certain, as you say, this meal is really vital. In a sense, it's kind of like the school lunch program, which has increased in numbers today compared to in the past. And for many of those children, that's probably the only nutritional meal that they get. And I wouldn't be surprised if it's not an incentive or a magnet for some kids who may not want to go to school today, get to thinking about, hey, I want that lunch, or I'm hungry, or whatever. So it hopefully it helps to sustain kids in school, gives them the energy as well as the nutrition so that they can think. Because if you're hungry and your stomach is growling, no matter whether you're a kid or a senior, it makes it very difficult really for you to stay focused and to achieve the basic things that you're faced with. Is there anything that the public can do that you can think of, Peyton, to assist you in meeting the needs of some of your clients, the senior citizens?
We are always open for donations.
Donations?
Especially money.
Mm-hmm.
We are probably no different from a lot of other programs where the federal contribution has not been as it should have been during the past 10 years or so. As a matter of fact, it has not increased at all.
Okay.
And we know that the price of everything has went up, especially food, gas, electric, all those things that have to be paid for. Okay. And our program has to pay for them with the same amount of money they were getting 10 years ago, which makes it difficult. So we do rely on contributions, on donations, fundraisers, grants when we can get them. Those are things that help to keep the Senior Meals Program going, as well as volunteers. Okay. So we're looking for all of those at any time. When anyone is ready to do it, then we're ready to accept them. Well,
I was just thinking as you were talking, that'd be a great memorial for any individual out there tonight who is thinking and talk terms of a grandparent that they passed away, or might have been their parent, in memory of that person.
Right.
To make a donation, a memorial donation, to help feed other seniors.
And we do have a few people doing that.
Well, and I think that that is great. Is there any charge, or do you just ask for contributions if
we ask for a contribution if the people can? We do not turn anyone away because they don't have the money. And McFarland Bragg has made it a point not to raise what we ask for as far as donation. It's been $1 for as long as I've been there. The other meal providers in Central Illinois area that we are part of have all raised their requests for donations. I know most of them are asking for at least $2.50, some as much as $3 for a meal on a daily basis. And our president and CEO has insisted that we do not try to raise that donation requests from our seniors and from our participants, and
Well,
we don't.
I'm
It's
glad
still
to hear
$1.
that, but I'm not surprised to hear it because I know McFarland is really concerned about, as I said,